and welcome to another Dittmer Knittery video. My name is Bev, and if you'd like more information about me or Dittmer Knittery, leave a comment or send me an email. That's what I like best, hearing from you. And whether you are a returning or new viewer, I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm going to chat for a little while. I have some knitted things that are ready for hot water felting that I'm going to show you. I have a video and some photos of a work in progress, and that might be it, or there might be a couple of other things. We'll see. The same as last year, I didn't do any videos over the holiday season because there's just so much content. And then I even considered ending my videos or going to just monthly only. However, I feel like I've really made some strong connections in this community. And even if my projects are not always crochet or knit related, most of the time they're yarn related at least. Viewers and content creators alike, you continue to follow along and show interest and comment and keep in touch. And that means so much to me because that's why I'm here. I've said it many times. I am here to make the connections. I'm not monetized. I don't know if I ever will be. My interest is in reaching you. Seeing and hearing about what you're making and sharing what I'm making. Some of you, Katrina at Mindful Crafts and More, Pricilla of Distinctive Crochet, Kim, the Crafty Nomad, Marieanne, the Crochety Clogger, Dee of Knit, Purl, and Squirrel. I think it's Granny Dee's Knit, Purl, and Squirrel, Jeanette of DOY Creations and DOY Life, and Kim and Ginger, who together make up Affordably Geeky. I've mentioned most of these names almost from the beginning of my making videos here. They consistently watch, comment, and keep in touch with me, and again, that's it for me. That's what I want, and I appreciate you guys so much. Try not to get overexcited and emotional. There are others I'll mention throughout the year, and of course there's many viewers also. I just appreciate you so much, and I appreciate that I'm here right now making this video because so many of you have reached out to me and been encouraging. I do enjoy doing the videos. And I really like that, you know, for the past year and a little bit more, I kind of have a record of what I've been doing, what I've been making. This year, in 2022, I hope to do some more needle felting and other surface type work. You know, I'll continue to make bags, but I want to try making some more tapestries. I've tried that a little bit, and I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like I even understand better what I'm trying to do. I have more ideas that I'd like to try out. And this, putting it on a surface that might be hung on a wall, instead of putting it on a bag, that attaching the fibers and fabrics and whatever materials I'd like to use, attaching that to a flat surface that might be a wall piece, I can be a little bit more free with the materials I use, and maybe even create a little bit of a 3D effect with some texture and materials. I've been trying that out a little bit, and I'll show you what I've done here in the near future. I hope this interests you, and I hope you'll comment and email your thoughts and questions. And I do plan to show my progress at the very least, and maybe even make some videos of me doing some of the needle felting and other things that I might do to create some new pieces. I do have some knitted things to show you. I have my thing sitting on a chair over here. Let me get that a little bit closer to me. I have some things that are what I call ready for hot water. Things that are ready to be hot water felted, so they will shrink and become a solid fabric and become the item that I intended them to be. This is really big. This is a very large bag that is all hand knitted from Lamb's Pride Plum Smoke, I believe is the color. It has two little flaps at the top that will have buttons on them. It has an inside pocket. This is the inside, and there's that pocket. This is the top of the pocket. And then it also has, I don't know if you're able to see it very well. I'm just excited to show it to you. Thank you for watching. This, and then it also has this smaller outside pocket. So I have made many bags over the years, and I just have, you know, some formulas in my mind that I use to try to create what I want. But this is quite a large bag. I keep saying I won't make large things, but this is a very, very, very dear friend who this is for, and she even purchased some of the yarn. So she really liked this yarn. She wanted a large tote from this yarn, and I have also made a strap for it. Now, as I've said before, the strap doesn't shrink quite as much as the bag itself. In fact, the strap might stretch. So if this strap looks a bit short, I still think that it's going to be of ample length for the tote, that she wants. And it has buttonholes. And so then there will be buttons on the bag that will make the strap adjustable lengthwise. So again, this is a giant bag. I'm going to hold it up again just to see if maybe I got it in focus and you could see some of the beautiful yarn and stockinette stitch there. It was a lot of fun to make. And yes, I want to say yes, it is two strands held together. It is. My little dog wants to go outside, so excuse me for a minute. My little dog did indeed need to go outside. He is a very good little dog. And so he told me that he needed to go out, and I took him out. This is Isaac. He is 15 years old. He's a little Chihuahua, and he, throughout his entire life, has been a rather calm and sweet dog. He does not bark. He's never bitten anyone, other than maybe he tried to get the cat to leave him alone while he was sleeping. He might have snapped at the cat a little bit. You really can't blame him for that. And the cat doesn't mind. So he is just the best dog. He's well behaved, loving, sweet, and he, like I said, he is 15 years old. So he stays pretty close to me most of the time. When I go to work, he stays in his little bed and sleeps. I come home and check on him at least once during the day. I'm that fortunate to live close to work. Yes, that's right. I just thought I'd share him with you for just a minute. Okay, I'm going to put him down. He's going to go lay on his blanket. And I have a couple more knitted things that are ready for hot water that I wanted to show you. Have two hats. This one is knitted on the machine from Knit Picks palette yarn in the color Merlot Heather. And it is a very rich deep eggplant purple with a definite brown hint. Again, Knit Picks palette yarn. Ooh, there the color's almost right there. Oh. Knit Picks palette yarn. Merlot heather. Knitted hat ready to be hot water felted. And then I have another hat, and this one is, I want to say this is Universal Yarns, but you know, I'm really not sure, and I don't have the ball band here near me, but it is a reliable 100% wool yarn that felts well. Comes in a variety of colors, and I'll try to get the information for you. But I want to say it's Universal Yarns in just this lovely green color. It is a solid color, and again, this was knit on the machine, and I do plan to embellish this one. The other one, the Merlot Heather, is going to stay a solid color, which I think will be beautiful, but this one will probably get some embellishment on it, again, for a friend. Very fun things to make. Next, I have a video for you that I made of a project I've been working on, and some pictures. So I'll be back after we take a look at that. I'm working on this piece that's almost finished. This is a sidewalk scene that I have needle felted onto a piece of wool felt. And I said I'm working on a piece that's almost finished. I thought it was finished. And then I was looking at it and I realized that these seats need some red cushions, I think. They need to be filled in. And for most of this project, not all of it, but for most of this project, I have been using this DMC wool yarn. I think it's for embroidery or rug hooking. I'm not sure, but it is wool, and it needle felts nicely. And I like, this was gifted to me by a very kind viewer, and I like that I have a variety of colors, and that this particular yarn, this DMC wool, is 3-ply. I've cut a length of it here. Is 3-ply, and I can separate it. So I can use it at that thickness, or I can pull it apart and use just one of the strands, 1-ply of the 3-ply yarn. And that's what I'm going to do to fill in these seats with some red yarn. I'm going to use a fine felting needle because I do want it to retain a little bit of texture to look a teeny bit puffy. And so I'm just going to begin by felting with my needle, poking that yarn into the shape of the cushion that already exists. That shape is already there with the red outline. And all I need to do is fill it in. I imagine this table and the chairs to be made maybe of wrought iron, but then the seat needed to be padded, cushioned. It needed something added to it. So that looks fine to me right there. And then I'll separate this and have another ply. And I could tell from doing this that that's enough. I didn't have enough left of that other strand to complete the second cushion, but I could tell that if I use the same length, I'll have enough to just needle felt that, poke that into place. And I do prefer needle felting usually with yarn rather than roving or fibers, matting or batting. I just prefer the yarn because that's how I started, and it seems like that's what I keep doing. That's what I keep coming back to because I enjoy it so much, and I do enjoy the effect I get. I'm pretty happy with this little scene, and I can continue to make sure that those fibers are attached. But like I said a minute ago, I wouldn't mind if that retained some puffiness and texture to make it look like a little bit like the seat of a chair there. So this is a scene I created that is a representation of, certainly not an accurate representation, but an homage to some of the scenes on the square in my town. We have cafes and we have sidewalk dining. There's apartments above the businesses on the square. There's bicycle rental, and of course, there's a bookstore, a dear bookstore. It's called Underground Books, and I did my best to depict it right there, and I'm pretty happy with the way all of this looks. This piece of felt, I folded it in half to make this scene. And so then I'm going to depict something on the other side. And I've just started that. I've made an outline. That's what these safety pins here are, to show me where the fold will need to be so I know how much area I can use on this side and on the other side. So I've just started to depict, and it's a certain building, another local building that's near the square in our town. So I'm going to attempt to make somewhat of a depiction of that. And I've just gotten started. I thought you might like to see that very beginning. And I have, as I did with the scene on the other side, I did create a sketch of this. And I also have, because it's a building that really does exist that I'm attempting to depict, I have a photograph of it that I'm looking at. And I will share that with you. So like I said, this is just the beginning of this. I don't know if it will turn out, but it looks good to me so far. That what I'm trying to do here is show the space that I'm going to use. It's a building here, and then there's another fixture over here that I'm going to use that color to start putting that on. So we'll see how the progress on this particular project goes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think if you'd like to see more of that. I enjoy showing my work that way, and I've been thinking about also putting things at a different angle so it's a little bit easier for you to see what my hands are doing. So let me know if you would like to see more of that. And then I'd like to share with you the progress of this project from the sketch I made through some of the steps as I needle felted the scene. I often start by just making some marks, usually with the yarn and the needle. I poke some yarn in different places where I want to create different features, and then I kind of work like from things that will be the farthest away and the most in the background, work on those things first and try to work toward the front and the top, if that makes sense, of the item. So like I said, this is some of my progress from the sketch and through to where right before the video when I begin to create the little seats on the little red chairs. And now here's how it looks today. And I thought if I showed you this, I might be able to get it up close for you so that you could see some of the details and maybe even a little bit of how textured it is. I have to peek around the side of the item to see if I'm getting it in the camera. You probably know that. So I've enjoyed that quite a lot. I really, really did. And then I showed you just a little bit of what I was doing on the other side of this piece. And I'll explain what I mean by the other side. I'll show you a piece of this felt that hasn't been worked up yet. So maybe you'll understand better about this material that I'm using, this the backing. I don't know what, yeah. The piece of felt that I'm working on. And so I showed you the beginning of this side where I had just sketched out the outline of the building. And this is where I am now. It is not done, but quite a bit of progress since you saw it last. And I will say, I enjoyed making the other side with the outdoor scene of the sidewalk and some plants and a cat and a bookstore. I enjoyed making that a lot more than I've been enjoying making this. Making this building while I am pretty happy with how I've depicted it so far. And I will put a photograph of the actual building in here. This is a building in the town where I live. It's called The Mansion. And this is the beginning of my depiction of it. And I hope I'll be able to share more of that with you as I move along. That is my intention. So this is, just like I said, one piece of felt that I folded in half. There's the back of it. Not very interesting, but it's always fun to see the back of somebody's work, isn't it? And it is. It's just this piece of felt that I folded in half. And then I thought, you know, when you hang it, it's two-sided. You know, I started to leave this side plain and just have it be white on the back. So it would have a backing, a behind. I don't know what, I'm not finding all my words today, but I bet you know what I mean. Thank you. But I decided to work on the other side of it. And here's a piece of the same kind of material that's unworked at this point. And if I wanted to, I could easily remove that fold. I don't have to have it folded. You know, a little dampness and a light touch of an iron, maybe not even need the iron, but a little dampness would flatten that out. So I have several pieces like this in different colors. I have another white one, and I have, I think, a brown one and a pink one. So I think I'm very, very, very fortunate to have these things that someone gave to me several years ago. They knew I loved felting, and they gave me these pieces of felted fabric, along with some that are smaller. Like this is about 12 by 12 square. You know, it resembles the commercial acrylic felt squares you would buy in the craft store for 35 cents or 50 cents or whatever. But this is a piece of actual wool felt. It comes like this, rolled up, has the label on it, and I believe I had some that had a price tag on it. That it was in the, I want to say, $10 to $12 range retail, which someone kindly gave me. And I have several more pieces of this too in different colors. So I'm very fortunate to have these canvas-like pieces already prepared that I can then do the surface work on. I'm very fortunate to have these things, and I'm very fortunate to have a viewer who gave me, like I mentioned, a lot of the yarn that I've been doing to do the surface work. Of course, I have my own yarn, and I use it to do the surface work, but it for this particular piece, in fact, both of these, I wanted to use a lot of different colors. Didn't want to choose just, you know, to do an outline of something and then fill it in. I wanted to use a lot of different colors. So the ability to have those small skeins of yarn right next to me and use them, I really appreciate that. I appreciate all of you so very, very much. I am not sure what's next in what I will take on, whether it will be knit or crochet or felting. I do intend to do the hot water felting, start the hot water felting today. I showed you that very large bag. I hope to start hot water felting that today, and then I will be hot water felting the 2 hats, and I have the green hat that I will be putting some embellishment on. So I do have those things ahead of me. I have a couple other projects in progress, of course, but I don't know what I'll have to show you next. I don't know what I'll decide to share with you next. So let me hear from you. Let me know if you enjoyed this. And another reason I say that I'm not sure what's next is I know that I do my best work when I let myself do what I feel like doing at the moment. If I let myself create what I feel like creating, when that idea is at the moment, when it says, okay, here's the yarn, here's the materials, we've gotten together, the idea, the yarn, the materials, we've gotten together and we're ready to go now. That's when I do my best work. And it's really fun when I allow myself to do that. And I'm at a point where I'm able to do some of that and feel quite creative and feel like I'm having a little growth as I continue to create. And I'm so glad you're here. And I will be back with another video probably soon. I have a couple of times decided I'm not going to do this anymore, and then I keep doing it. So we'll see how often I get to it. But like I said, there are so many of you who continue to follow me that I feel quite touched and connected, and that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to continue to try to do that, to stay connected. If you would please, too, stay connected by making comments, sending me emails, interacting with me. Thank you so, so very much. And now, more than ever, be here and now. See things as they are. Approach yourself and the world and the other human beings in it with peace and love and compassion. I'll see you again soon.